Okay. I'll have my phone across the room. Give me just a sec. Set it over here. Okay. Hey, everyone. I just need to send out a notification on my Discord, and then I'll begin painting the rest of my scions. There's a couple of spots that didn't get hit with the spray. That's a little annoying. You're stuck to the table. Where's my texture tool? Hell of a start. Hey, Shattered Shield. Normally I would be recording tonight, but I have my very first in-person game of 40K tomorrow. So, I want to get the last of my scions painted. I'm going to hold off on varnishing them until I've got the water slide decals I want ready for them, because I don't want to like triple coat varnish or anything. Where is my texture tool? Oh, jeez. Oh, here it is. Nope, that is too soft. Oh, yeah, that's too soft. I have a chisel, actually. I don't know why I have a chisel here. And okay. Hey, Code. Hey, G-Master. Let's start. More Xander dust. Actually going to pop out my chat, pull up OBS like this, and then have the chat here so I can see it. Scions are Militarum Tempestus stormtroopers. They are the toughest soldiers of the Imperium that are not, or they are the toughest soldiers in the Astra Militarum. If you get any tougher, you're going into the Sororitas or the Astartes, who are... Astartes aren't really humans. Okay. Shade brush. Medium base. I think the medium base is the one I'm mostly going to want for this. And I'm going to start organizing my squads. Two, three. Here are my Tempesters. Each of these squads has a single regular las gunner all got Vox Troopers. I'm not painting this one. Here's my Tempestus Prime. Right. So let's start with the ones who are going to use the least colors. So let's start with our Vox officers, actually, and not the plasma gunners. Every team is going to have, every squad is going to have a Vox. They're Astra Militarum Spec Ops. Not exactly Spec Ops. Spec Ops would be... Spec Ops... There are some regiments that do Spec Ops, like, the Tanith. But that's more on the regimental level. The Tempestus Scions are primarily drop troopers. They have better armor and stronger guns. So they're kind of like the Marines. Regular human Marines in space, and not Space Marines. Or Green Berets. Or Army Airborne. There is a Spec Ops Scion regiment. The Jackals. They're really interesting, but they're not very good. So I found out a little while back that one of my coworkers has a bunch of NIDs and has not put them together yet. So I'm kind of hoping I can egg him on into putting them together. so that I can bully some nids. Because almost everybody that I know plays something that has gotten a new codex. Royal Marine equivalent. Yeah. But yeah, almost everyone I know plays an army that's gotten a new codex for 9th. Like, I know people who play, a lot of people play Marines. Some of my friends play Mechanicus. Code plays Knights. And Knights are just not something I'm equipped to handle anyway. But my cousin plays Marines, Necrons, and Tau and Imperial Knights, I believe. And I play Scions, who are late 8th, but still very 8th. Because they're still based on the Astra Militarum, who were very early 8th. I also finally got a proper rag instead of instead of using tissues. Hey, Elanius. Hey, Z. Hey, Bronson. A 40k Arma 3 Milsim group. That sounds really fun, and also like I could never handle that group. Mostly because I can't fucking play Arma 3. Hey, Kelly. You're the gay one. I'm gonna need to do some touch-ups on some of this. Well, let's get black over everyone, into everyone's eyes first, because those are really easy for me to like gloss over and not paint when I'm doing other stuff. So if I just get them some Abaddon black right now, before I put any paint on any of them, So I'm going to set everybody up so I know who goes to which regiment. Not to which regiment, to which squad. Okay. And then I'm going to have another Vox here. Who's going to go there? Plasma for center. Volley gun, volley gun. Got 2 more plasma that I'm going to be painting. Where did I put them? I think that one's a Melta. Where's the other plasma? There should be 2 more plasma gunners here. No, wait. There should not actually be 2 more plasma gunners here. I am dumb. So we should have 5 actual plasma gunners. There should be 1 more. Where is he? Oh, he's right here. Okay, cool. Tomorrow will be your last day of being dead. Nice. I started cleaning the plastic end of my paintbrush. Don't worry, it's not too complicated. It is a children's card game after all. Yes, I'll duel you. Take a look at what I have, because I still have some of my really old Yu-Gi-Oh cards. They're mixed in with my MTG cards. So take a look at those and tell me if there's anything worth using in there, so you don't have to buy extra. Or you can, like, give me a quick point. I'll touch those up after I do the silver. That's not lead belcher. Where's my lead belcher? Nothing you're able to build will compete with even your worst deck. No, I know. I'm just saying, like, I might have some actually good cards that may have good modern support. And I would never know because I don't fucking play Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, this brush is too fucking big. I shouldn't use this brush. Where's my small brush? Small base. Getting all the things I don't want to paint. How? You have an idea and you'll DM it to me? Okay. That's mean. But also sure. I think I had like 2 Maximilian Pegasus starter decks at one point. I got like 2 starter decks, but they were both the same character's starter deck. And it was like a character I didn't like. So it would have been either Pegasus or Kaiba. It might have been Kaiba. No, it wasn't Kaiba. And I remember being really angry because it was like, no, they were Joey Wheeler starter decks, and I was really angry because they weren't actually Joey's deck from the anime. They didn't have Flame Swordsman, and they didn't have Polymerization. And I was furious. Because why would I want to play Joey when all I can play is fucking Time Wizard? I want Polymerization and Flame Swordsman, even though I know he's not actually useful at all. Because he's like a fusion with no effects. Scapegoat. Maybe. I legitimately do not remember. Didn't you say Scapegoat's banned? I need to make you play more 40k as well. You're going to make me play more Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm going to make you play more 40k. Is that a fair trade? You did another Officer of the Fleet. You made a mistake and went, oh, another oof. Not another Officer of the Fleet. Why would it be another Officer of the Fleet? What did you buy on Forge World Alanius? Hey, it sounds like a fair trade, honey. But I won't buy you anything until I actually get you hooked on Plastic Crack. Because the building and painting is effort. And it takes up a lot of space. And I don't know if that's a commitment you want. But I will finish up a 500-point Tau or Orc army and bring that along. We'll stream you roasting me on... You're going to build Grey Knights and only big dudes with hammers. Grey Knights? So, honey, the thing about Grey Knights is that they're about to get a new codex. They've they've shown a Grey Knights and Thousand Suns box. So Grey Knights are probably going to be really strong soon. So you're joking about doing something because it won't actually be good, but Grey Knights as an army are much better than Grey Knights in Kill Team. And Grey Knights in Kill Team can be scary already. I'm just going to do the Dryad Bark all at once, because that stuff is... I use so little of it, it would make more sense to do everyone's at the same time. Same with the hand beds. Whoa! Oh, that's my alarm for recording. I'm skipping recording tonight because I have a game tomorrow and I need, like, I have an actual physical in-person game tomorrow. I need all of these done by tomorrow. I should have started painting them sooner. This is my medium base, correct? Yes. My last Fox officer to paint. You could always go Custodes. No, Kelly really likes Grey Knights. I say really likes Grey Knights. She picked Grey Knights on a whim. And then wound up playing them in Kill Team. Why am I have this? I keep meaning to use this. It's not as thin as it should be. That might be too thin. No, that's probably fine. No, that is too thin. Fuck. What the fuck is wrong with my paint tonight? I just pushed him off his base. Good job. Stuff always... Grey Knights are good because they're just big psychic dudes with hammers. Do I need Tau? Yeah, I need another HQ option. I have a commander, but you're not allowed to take more than one commander in a Tau army. Alanis, why? Why? Bud. Bud. You gotta... You gotta save something. Yeah, come on, bud. Stay upright. Does not want to stay upright. Wow. You don't want to get put back into place, do you? You against this Basilicanum Gray until you stick. Right, let's do a volley gunner while we wait for his paint to dry. Or not his paint, his glue. I might be interested, Elanius. Because my current Tau set, I've got some Fire Warriors, some Pathfinders, one thing of Crisis Suits, two things of Stealth Suits, a Piranha, and a Broadside. You bought one of those big Tausept boxes at Christmas. 5 broadsides, a Riptide, and a few other things. Damn. I might be interested if you don't use Tau. Trouble is I don't really have a good way to get anything shipped to me at the moment. Like, I don't have a P.O. box or anything, and I don't really feel comfortable giving out my home address. Ship them over to you and you'll drive them over. But yeah, that sounds like a great plan. Or I'll pick them up when I go visit. I'm gonna get wrecked by whatever army my cousin brings tomorrow. I don't know which one he's taking. I think anything other than Tau are just gonna break me. Hmm. What do y'all got? He plays Admac, or not Admac. He plays Tau, Imperial Knights, uh, Marines. I think he's also got some Night Lords. The funniest Yu-Gi-Oh meme ever. Oh no. Does it involve Jaden with a metal Glock? Not, no, that wasn't Jaden. That was, Yusei? I always forget the 5D's protagonist's name. I think that's the 5. That was 5D's, right? I'm not misremembering what 5D's looked like. Vrains, okay. The hot dog sandwich protagonist. The Vrain stuff is fucking wacky. Yes. You've shown me several of the. You have shown me several of the things from the Vrain's dub. Marshmallow hot dogs. And honey, you've seen the thing the hot dog sandwich thing is based on, right? That's based on the sandwich alignment chart. No, not the sandwich alignment chart. Uh, the universal food shape chart, which is dumber than an alignment chart. It's one of the stupidest things I've ever seen. No, the cube rule of food. That's what it's called. Dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen. I hate it so much. Ah, okay. Let me see this. Let me see this amazing Yu-Gi-Oh meme that you've sent. What is? What's your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh monsters? Is this just all dragons that are different, that are classified as different things? It's just all dragons that are classified as different things. Of course. Now we're going to finish this comms guy. So far we've got... Okay. Okay, this is one squad totally done. Well, I still need to base them, but I'm not super worried about basing them. Look at the one under Dragon. Oh? What the fuck? Looks like a fucking character out of Dragon Maid. Don't tell me that's actually a character out of Dragon Maid, because I would believe it. He's still not quite... The blue on this still hasn't quite set. It's a member of the Dragon Maid archetype, Chamber Dragon Maid. Why? The nice part, though, is that a lot of those monsters don't only look like dragons, but they have dragon in their name. Yeah, I remember I saw Slifer the Sky Dragon. And my brain immediately started going Slifer, no slifing. Because God, that sure as hell was a show that existed. Oh, they all have dragon in their name. Oh boy. Okay, let's finish the volley gun team. I remember when those episodes were airing, by the way. I watched them when they aired. With the 3 Egyptian god cards. Man, I really liked old Yu-Gi-Oh! They probably don't hold up, but I'm just really nostalgic for them. Like, Kelly, I know you're not a big fan of Duelist Kingdom or any of those, but they were also my childhood. What's this about people being horny? We should play speed duels. No, I refuse. I refuse to believe that Duel Monsters is the worst. It was really good. The worst is Season 0. Because Season 0 is legitimately just bad in a lot of ways. It's just like very graphic and ultra violent for no reason. It was actually a horror manga. Speed Duels is the perfect way to play Yu-Gi-Oh! For someone who's nostalgic for Duel Masters. Is that the point, or is that where you say, screw the rules, I have money, and play like a small child who doesn't understand the rules and just wants to win? It just follows the same rules as Master Duels. It's just all Duel Masters bait. Oh, hell yeah. In my brain, I keep reading DM as Duel Monsters, but that was a Wait, no, Duel Monsters is Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Masters is the other one. Duel Masters is the one that's entirely unrelated because it's a totally different show and card game. Duel Masters sure existed, and I have some of the cards somewhere, but they were from a booster pack sold at a Borders bookstore like a year after the show stopped running. So I never learned, I never actually got to play even or watch the show. I never watched the show. I just thought it looked cool as fuck, and I loved the cards. I did that with a lot of stuff. My very first username online, I used to call myself Arrow, spelled Aerrow, as in the character from Stormhawks, a show that I was aware existed but never watched because I didn't have cable. I remember Borders. Yeah, Duel Master, Duel Masters was Duel Masters was neat. I'm gonna look. Hold on a sec. I need to look up the plot of Duel Masters because I remember it being silly. Actually, do you know what? Do you know what card game based on a show was pretty good? Even though I never played the card game, but the show was really good. Chaotic. Chaotic had no right to be any good, and then it was. Borders was a bookstore. It was such a good bookstore. Barnes and Noble is the Barnes and Noble is like almost identical to what Borders was. I'm honest. Gargoyles, the TV show. Gargoyles was good. Battle City box has like 4 decks in it, and they're all actually really good in some booster packs. Oh, nice. Duel Masters. Boy, what's the plot? Wait, what the fuck? Duel Masters is still running. Duel Masters also never stopped running. What? I thought Duel Masters died, but it never stopped running. Okay, the anime stopped running. The anime ended in 2006. The anime only ran from 02 to 06. The manga is still going. Hey Ryujo, you joined on to us talking about Duel Monsters and Duel Masters, and I started looking up Duel Masters, which was a show that existed, and wait a second, what? No, the anime did continue. They just kept changing the name to correspond to the... When did... What, is the anime still going too? The anime is still going too. Kelly, we have to watch Duel Masters. Watch us both get into an entirely unrelated card game. Yeah, the plot. The story centers around the card game Duel Masters, which revolves around 5 civilizations consisting of fire, water, light, darkness, and nature. You'd think nature would cover all of those, but okay. The original storyline follows Shobu Kirafuda, a young boy who likes to play Duel Masters. He and a few duelists are known to bring the monsters on the cards to life in their duels. Shobu engages in this card game so that he can be the best duelist like his father was. That's the entire plot synopsis. I want to go back and watch that. Do you want to see the progress on this? Okay, sure, sorry. I'm trying to get the camera to focus. I think it's trying to focus on something else. Alright, camera. It's trying to focus on my arm. What the fuck? Alright, come on. Properties, come on. No. I'm using the trackpad instead of my mouse because... Wait, I do have my mouse. It's right over here. It's significantly better than the trackpad. Configure video. Close this. Why did GIMP open? I don't need GIMP open. It's wasting resources. Do not autofocus. Focus on near. No, that's far. Hold on. Focus on here. This is the one I'm working on right now. Let me move the lamp over just a tiny bit. Oh, come on. And then let me... That's too much exposure, I think. Let's turn down... No, that's... Sorry, trying to fuck with these settings so that people can like actually see what I'm working on. Okay, that's about right. Yeah, this one is not very far along. He basically just has the carapace painted on. Is all the carapace painted? Yes. Cool. Time for the fatigue. I'll show a finished one. Here's the most recently finished volley gunner. And here is one of my older ones who's got a similar color scheme, but is also not as well painted. If I actually pull them closer, I can focus better here. Nope. Sorry, trying to adjust a lot of things. Here. Yeah, they're tan carapace armor with black fatigues. Is this one small base? Yes. Tan carapace armor, black fatigues, silver highlighting, and blue mechanical bit, or blue life monitor things. Oh, have a good one, Alanius. I think I missed that. Some scions of your own and had to build them the literal night before the game. These are being painted the night before the game. I already built my Valkyrie, which is on the floor next to me. Once I've got everyone painted, I'm going to do a glamour shot. Yeah, the packs are interchangeable. You can use any pack so long as you don't need... the packs only matter for the las guns and for the volley guns. I have my first in-person game tomorrow. They don't technically need to be built, or painted, I mean, but I would rather roll up with painted models. You have one model with the wrong arms, legs, and gun. Oof. I mean, I'm really excited to paint this dude, plasma gunner with a grenade in his hand, plasma gunner with a knife. I did some stuff too. Oh, and, sorry, my Tempestus Prime. They are Capic Eagles Scions, so he has the Master Vox Warlord trait, so I gave him a Vox caster. Okay, I gotta get the eyes here. Next to the lead belcher. You had to improvise the cord from pack to gun isn't connected, but you got the arms and gun to work, kinda. Nice! Oh, I keep doing this. Too much water for the amount of paint that I... There we go. I forgot to get that with the black. Fingers. Hopefully... plaque hadn't dried yet. Is your arm coming off, bud? Well, it is, but it's also glued firmly in place, so I'm not going to worry about it. The last volley gunner is painted. All right. Wait, oh, you're the book with glowing text and microphone person? Yes, hi. Wait. Night, Kelly. I did not see your message. But, like, also, 11 o'clock is early for you to go to bed. Are you sure you don't want to stay up until I finish 4 more Scions and then another 2 hours to watch the last 2 episodes of Leverage? Are you sure? Give me an excuse to stay up really late, honey. Because if you don't give me an excuse to stay up really late, I'm going to stay up really late playing XCOM 2 instead. Oh, my guard list is pretty bad, too. For Scions, almost everyone will tell you, run Gorgons, I think. No, not Gorgons. Lambden Lions. Everyone will tell you, run Lambden Lions. Run as much plasma as you can. Bring Tauroxes. Don't bother with Valkyries. And bring Ogren. And you have me. Bringing. Oh, did I forget to get his... I've forgotten the crotch. Please. That's a hell of a thing to say. I did. Don't I have another volley gunner somewhere? Yes. Command squad's done. And one squad is finished. Thanks. Thank you for the $2 Australian. 20 Cadians, 1 GL, 1 Lehman Russ, a Lord Commissar, a heavy weapons team with heavy bolter, 10 Scions with 2 Meltas, and here's the curveball, 2 Armiger Warglaves. That is a hell of a list. I'll probably post the list that I'm bringing against my cousin tomorrow. I'm wondering what he's gonna bring. Whether he's gonna take I'm wondering whether he's gonna be really nice and take Tau. In which case we're 2 shooty armies that never ever want to get into melee with each other. Or if he's gonna bring Marines and just charge me and kill me. I don't know which Marine chapter he plays either. Like, I know he plays Marines, I just don't know what Marines. Or he might bring Imperial Knights and laugh as I suffer. I don't think he would do that to me. He's generally pretty nice. I've actually got like 4 other models that I still... 5 other models that I still should paint. But I'm probably going to skip it for today because I can't actually run them. Check your battle scribe. Man. Oh, yeah! I have a box of Gaunt's Ghosts. I think they're on the other side of the room right now. Probably. But I have a box of Gaunt's Ghosts. I'm going to put them together at some point. Same with my Pathfinders and my stealth suits. I'm really excited to hit someone with some straight silver. And also, Bragg has some fucking ridiculous bullshit. Bragg just gets to keep shooting his autocannon until it kills something. Which is beautiful, and exactly how to represent Try Again Bragg in a game. God, I really love Gaunt's Ghosts. The books are so good. Admech Alliance for Knights is broken. You already fucked up one of your ghosts. Aw. You got to reroll the dice 5 times. What about Infinite Grenade Brag? I feel like they're going to FAQ Infinite Grenade Brag out of existence. Because technically he's allowed to keep making attacks until he kills something with his autocannon. So you can keep attacking with his other things. God. I would not do that either, but it's very funny to think about. That would be really mean to actually pull on someone. I need back. You would use it against the super tryhard who runs medalists. Yeah. Yeah. I really hope they have rules in New Kill Team. Because they are perfect for Kill Team. How did I paint the straps on these? I used Dryad Bark. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I have a Discord. It should be in the description of the stream, and it's also in the description of every video that I've posted. So if it's not there for whatever reason, open any video and it'll be in the description. Should be the correct link. I don't think I've ever had to change it. Even when... Probably should have changed it after we banned a few people. There have been, like, multiple instances of that. But I like people being able to actually have the link. And I can't go mass changing it, honestly. Actually, it wouldn't actually help because it is a public Discord, so they could still just find the new link really easily. Well, it's never been bad enough that we've had to close or anything. Just sometimes things have been annoying. You're gonna pick up some Necrons. Oh, that's the other thing my cousin plays. Yeah, I'm not very good against Space Marines either. Although I think checking a couple of Scions tactics, there are a couple of things that might give me a chance. I am really hopeful for the new Codex. Which is supposed to hit. Well, no one actually knows, but the rumors I've been seeing so far have said probably around Q1 or 2, 2022, which is up to a year away, which I'm not super excited for. I'm hopeful it's going to come sooner than that, because I need a new codex very badly. When most of my friends play Death Guard or Drukhari. And they're not meta chasers or anything. These are just the armies they've always played. And right now they're trouncing. Okay. How are you on here? Yay! You are done enough to stick. So you still have... you're more or less good. You're missing a couple of things on your feet. For... might be a little... yeah. Okay. Might start hounding my coworker to get his NIDS done so that I can shoot some NIDS. "13th Company wolfed." 13th Wolf Clan Codex. I have not read it. NIDS are cool. And, like, they are... honestly, I feel like NIDS versus Guard and Tau versus Guard, no matter what, no matter how the Codex is, infantry-wise, when you're playing Infantry Guard like I do, and weird Infantry Guard like I do, are always going to be the best matchups. You've only fought Space Marines, Chaos or Normal, and can I say fuck fight first? Yeah. No, I hate it. Because they always charge, and then they get to fight first on their turn. And then next turn comes around, and they are counted as the defender, because it's not their turn. So they get to fight first again. Fuck that. I never charge. I never charge because it's always bad for me. I don't have anything. Like, I have power fists, and that's more a charge deterrent than an action. That's more a charge deterrent than a weapon. I could actually probably squeeze in another squad if I took all the power fists off. But I like power fists. Posted a dumb knights list. That's the problem, Code. A dumb knights list against an army that isn't tournament is still gonna kick the ass of an army that's not tournament. Knights are just not something you can play casually. Stockadians are just good to charge into shit you don't want shooting for a turn. That is also fair. I don't have any stock units that I can just throw away like that. Because I need all of my special weapons firing and holding objectives. Charging is only worth it if it stops your enemy from scoring for me. Okay. Alright, 3 more models. One of them's not one I'm actually... I'm going to ask my cousin if it's okay to proxy a Melta Gunner as a Plasma Gunner. It should be, because I don't run any Melta Gunners in this list. And I'm just missing one plasma gunner that I need, so it should be okay to proxy him. And if not, they're the same points cost. I don't mind bringing one extra Melta gunner. I almost forgot this little detail. Little head ridges. They're really easy to miss. But if you miss them, you lose out on a lot of detail. Okay. It's another Vox Trooper done. Okay, all the Vox, all the sergeants. Okay, that's my... All right. I just have to paint the plasma gunners now. Which means once I finish with them, I'm going to break out the Dryad Bark first. Go over everybody with Dryad Bark. Have a good night, Lane. Okay. Once I do that, I'm going to break out the layer. Just going to do a little bit of highlighting on the armor. Then I'm going to null noil everybody. And then I'm going to be done. Actually, I should null noil everyone before I break out the layer paints and the bright blues, because those should not be darkened. Okay. The Space Wolves have some cute dogs. Nice. None of your models are properly painted as you grabbed white primer, which was recommended by a friend who didn't take into account that you haven't painted before. Oof. Yeah, I will always go with black primers because I like dark colors. And also, black is fucking amazing for hiding gaps. That's like the thing black is best for. Oh, I should have gotten some tan on that. I will get that later on the grenade. Okay. One thing I'll say, Citadel Primer is actually not a primer. It's just a black spray paint. So the $20 price tag on Citadel Primer is not worth it. Just get these guys primed with Rust-Oleum Camouflage Black. It is a very matte black paint. The only thing you need to keep in mind is that you need to be very, very light with it. Because it can, if you are not careful, make you lose some detail. Which I'm not super concerned about with these guys. Like, there's not a lot of detail to lose. There's not a ton of detail for me to lose, right? You know? Oh yeah, so I got screamed at by a customer at work today. So I work at a liquor store, which in Pennsylvania is a state store. So we're state run. So we don't have to So managers, not every manager is going to be like this, but managers are less scared about loss of business and care a lot more about like not letting customers abuse their employees. So, because we literally have no competition. We cannot have competition legally in the state of Pennsylvania. There is no competition. Uh, it's great, actually. So, get this customer who we have like an intersection coming into the parking lot because, it, it's a parking lot with two exits, and we are stationed, our store is directly in front of one of the intersections into the parking lot. This customer pulls her fancy, really fancy convertible right up to the walkway in the middle of this intersection and parks it and takes like 5 minutes to get out of her car and come in. I see the car there at first, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe they're stopped for something. I look back again late. I look back again after a couple of minutes and see some people talking, and I'm like, okay, is one of them just going to run in and get one thing, or are they just going to ask for boxes? Because we're a liquor store. People ask for boxes all the time. No. She comes in, and she takes a cart. If someone takes a cart, they're getting a lot. So I say to her, hey, ma'am, you're really not supposed to park there. That's the middle of an intersection. That's not a parking space. And she gets so pissed off at me. Like, what do you mean I'm not supposed to park there? Like, you're in front of the entrance. Oh, I'm blocking the walkway to your store? No, you're blocking the entrance to the parking lot. That is an intersection. Like, people are driving there. Oh, and she, of course, gets really angry because this is obviously the kind of person who's going to get really angry at you. She goes back out. After she argues with me for a bit. I never tell her, hey, you have to move your car. I just say, hey, you're really not supposed to park there. So eventually, this woman, furious at me, goes, well, fine, and goes out. And moves her car into a parking space. And she comes back in and goes, and she doesn't move it into one of the super close ones. She moves into one of the ones that's on the other, the parking lot has a side that's facing us and a side that's away from us. She parks on the side that's away from us. And there's spaces on the one facing us, and they're a lot closer. There's some towards the side of the building. They're even closer. And she comes in. She goes, I hope you know that I'm handicapped. I'm like, I have a fractured, I think she said a fractured back. I'm like, ma'am, there's a handicap spot right over there that you could have used. That's not blocking the intersection. Then she just goes, well, you're an idiot. Takes her cart and goes shopping. She couldn't. She never cursed. I will give her that. But she just goes, you're an idiot. You know what? I'm not putting up with this. So I let her finish. Because, you never just walk away in the middle of someone talking. Even if they're being that rude at you, if you walk away, you have just made it 10 times worse for yourself. You just wait for them to finish, and then once like particular, like if they don't finish and if they keep going, then you get then you walk over to your manager. But this was someone who like finished her yelling not too long after. So she finishes, and I go to my boss and I say, well, the assistant manager, technically he is my boss. I go to my boss and I say, hey, look, very quietly, because I do not want her overhearing this. I say, hey, when she comes up, can you ring her? And he goes, yeah, of course, because he heard the whole thing. So she does her shopping. She takes a long time, and I think she deliberately fucked up a couple of things in the aisles as like a fuck you to me. She gets a lot of stuff. She gets like almost a box worth of stuff. And my manager goes, and my manager, just quietly rings her up. Doesn't do anything to irritate her. And says, would you like me to help you to your car? Because, he also heard her say she was handicapped. And instead of just dropping it, instead of just dropping everything, instead of just dropping all of this, right? Instead of being a reasonable person and saying, sure, that would be nice, that would be lovely, she says, and I quote, why don't you have the idiot do it? Which I didn't hear. I found out she said this from my manager, who was like, this was the point where this was that was the last straw. And he says to her, well, ma'am, she told you. My clerk I would like to ask you not to be rude to my clerk. And she gets furious at him for this. There's not really anything she can do. She's already rung up. But she storms out of the store. And I was talking to Ryan after this, and he's like, yep, I'm sending the district manager an email about this. Because she is absolutely going to call. It's like, because, like, after all this, she's absolutely going to try and call the district and get us in trouble. Or get you in trouble. I was like, yep. Thank you. But, like, neither of us, there was no call to be angry at someone who is asking you to move your car out of the middle of an intersection. Like, you are going to cause an accident. People speed through that. It's not a big intersection, but it's the entrance to the parking lot. There's a lot of people who just make a right turn into that parking, who like that coming into the parking lot does not have a stop sign. There's not enough space for that. If they're coming into that parking lot, there's a good chance they're going to slam into you. if you do that. Did she get banned from the store? No. If she'd kept it up, we probably would have asked her to leave, but she left. You know, after all her whatever, she did just leave. And I don't think either of us have ever seen her before, but my boss half expects her to come back on Monday when we open again. And if she does, he's gonna laugh because it's just me and him again. So she's just gonna have to deal with the two people who have seen exactly what she did. And our DM already has an email, so she's free to call the district and get angry. That's probably about as far as it'll go. Back at the grocery store, I only ever had one customer report me for anything. And it was someone who was using self-checkout and kept locking up the register. So, like, I kept seeing the light flash. I kept hearing, "Please wait for an attendant." And so I'd walk over. Because that was my job. You know. So I'd walk over. After it happened a couple of times, you know, I was watching, and I noticed what was happening. You know, she was just pulling bags away too quickly. Everyone does that. It's the most common mistake in self-checkout. So, you know, just go, hey, you know, if you want to stop locking that up, or if you want that to stop locking up on you, if you just take it a little slower, if you just give it a second before you pull your bags off, it'll stop locking up. You've got to set everything on the scale, but you just have to give things a second before you, like, there's this little symbol on our self-checkouts that'll tell you when it's okay to take your bags. She keeps locking it up. And tell her that again. And she gets, like, I keep having to come over because it keeps beeping and flashing. And I think she assumed that I thought she was stealing. So she got very angry. And my manager on shift that day came over and was like, "Hey, so I don't know what's going on, but I just had a customer come up, say she was going to report someone. I just had a customer come up and make a complaint and say like a couple of names that, like, I recognized that are higher up than us, so I just wanted to give you a heads up." And all that came out of that was our store director, who was an interim store director at the time. Our actual store director, who was out on medical leave at that point, I would never have seen him to get any kind of talking to, because he always left early, even when he really shouldn't have. But our interim store director was like, "Hey, like, I have no idea what happened," because he wasn't there, and he he was not the kind of person who had been in a store before, who had worked on the store level before. So he didn't really know. He didn't really get it when I was like, hey, yeah, I was just trying to help her not lock up her register. His response was like, hey, I don't want you coaching people on how to use the registers. Like, man, if I can just get a few people, like, you're saying this, but I've had so many other customers go, oh man, thank you for actually telling me how this works. Like, I can actually get through this without needing to call over an attendant 6 times. So, like, I never did actually stop, of course, because people like knowing how to work the things they need to work. Funny that? Funny thing is, people like knowing how to work things they have to use every day. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but like people like knowing how things function because it makes their lives easier. I don't know if you ever would have guessed that, right? But how am I missing one? I think I am. Oh no, I pushed these two. All right, one more to paint. Then I'm gonna do everybody's little life counter things. Oh. Hey, Logan. It is Logan, right? I'm getting your name right? Nice. My day is going all right. I'm just, ranting about customers. And how some management really does understand and helps. My current management, who are great, and some who just need to leave, need to not work in. Need to understand that not every customer is worth catering to. Not that the customer isn't always right, but that even if they may, because the customer is always right, is that customers always know what they want. Don't try to tell a customer what they want because they know what they want. Which is true. I've noticed like several times people will ask me for a recommendation when it's really obvious they already know what they want to get at the liquor store. So, you give them a couple of things. You include the thing that you kind of know they're looking for. They'll take the thing that you kind of know they're looking for. Even if you tell them one of the others is probably a better option. Oh, I forgot to get his frontal armor bits. That's fine. We'll get them on another pass when I'm getting the silver on this guy. This is the last one. It is just a little after midnight. Oh, man. Even if I don't get the other stuff that I want to get finished, the other details on these guys finished, I should be in. They're battle ready. Ah, you would know. Wait. Your sister's computer keeps getting Discord pings right as you send messages in a server. When she's not in, it keeps freaking you out. Oh, man. Your friend's running orcs because you told them it was an RNG fest. Orcs are so fun. I've played them in Kill Team a few times, and just an Evil Sun's Kill Team is so funny. It's so much fun. They add an extra inch to their movement. They add an extra 1-2 charge rolls. And they add 1-2 charge and advance rolls. So they all orcs are essentially have one extra movement point, or one extra movement, and their charges are effectively their advances are always d6 plus 1, so it is really easy to just have an army of orcs advance entirely across the map. It's so funny. Good morning, Cupfloss. He's got like 10 Gretchen, a Runt Herd, and he's got 3 Mega Knobs. Amazing. Perfect. The best orcs list is the one with the biggest boys. Even an Umi ought to know that. You own the building tools, though. See,
I own the building tools, though, so I'm going over to his zugging house to help build them.
It's got to learn to type like an orc. I'm really excited for the new Kill Team box. I'm absolutely going to buy the full box because that's terrain, which I don't have any of. Terrain which I don't have any of. It's got Plastic Deathcore of Krieg, who are just cool. Like, Deathcore are fun. I really like them. And it's got Orc Commandos, which, I love orcs. It's got an Orc Sniper. Except the sniper rifle has a belt, is belt fed and fully automatic. Okay. That is the last model. Oh, wait. Can't forget his armor. Okay. Next. Dryad bark on everyone. Not using these anymore. Only paints I still need are Lothar and Blue, Dryad bark, Cantor Blue. And Nuln Oil and Karak Stone. Oh, and Agrax Earthshade, but that's for later. Only resin model you want is the Solar Auxilia Stormhammer. Yeah.
I fight for the love of the Emperor. I fight for the love of the Emperor. I fight for the greater good. I fight to preserve my race. Fight is fight. Fight is fight. Fight is fight. Every once in a while, always thinks about doing the great story Death Watch, but this voice destroys my throat after a little while.
I started losing it after a bit there, too. And stopped being orc and started being shitty fake orc Australian. I'm not going to bother using this because I need to paint every single model now. 7 multi-lasers, 7 heavy bolters, and 7 las cannons. Vendetta gunship. It's an upgunned Valkyrie, it's a transport, and it has 6 las cannons. I'm really mad that it didn't keep grab, shoot, insertion, which would have made it automatically so much better. They took away grab, shoot, insertion, and they took away oh, that's way too much. What the fuck? I don't want so much in my brush. They took away grab, shoot, insertion, and they took away roving gunship. Roving gunship would have made the Vendetta gunship so scary. Because it would have been 6 las cannons hitting on 3s. And then, on top of that, if you have an officer of the fleet, you pick a target and it rerolls 1s against that target. Like, that would be so scary. That would be so good. But, no. They took away grab, shoot, insertion in the new codex. And it's Imperial Armor Compendium, not regular guard, so it is not coming back. How much of a sin against Big E is using a bit too much wash? Not a sin. It is there's a reason Nuln Oil is called liquid talent. It's an easy way to make your models look significantly better. I use a fair amount to hide all of my mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes. No, I'm going to use my small layer brush for this, because I need something much smaller than... Oh, damn it. I fuck up my layer brush. No, okay, it was just a little bit of stuck on Celtic stone. Ah, these literal paints are good. Okay. And one. I'm just going to start making a finished tile of they're totally done over here. Everyone else here. Cool. Not a whole lot of straps to put on A. Oh, did I forget to give him a... I forgot to give him a las gun. He has the pistol, but I forgot to give him the full las gun. I will fix that the next time I'm building. One. Cool. So everyone with that. Next, Cantor glue. Which I will use the small base brush for. I'm done with the medium base brush entirely. So I can clean this. Over here. Found a local game shop that does 40K on Fridays, but you've never played an actual game. Are most people open to new players, or should you wait until you've played a few with your buddy? I would play a few with your buddy first, get a feel for the rules. Maybe go there and ask some of the people who play how they feel about new players, because really it depends on the shop. I would usually play it safe personally, because some shops can be great, some shops can be super toxic, and super strict and hostile about model rules, about all kinds of things. I forgot the straps on your backpack. You have a Games Workshop near you, an hour away, and you love the atmosphere there. Dude named Preston runs the place, and he's super cool. That's good. The nearest one to me is Allentown, Pennsylvania. Been thinking of going there. I know my cousin goes there, and he says the guy who runs it is pretty cool. Tomorrow, I'm going to a place. What was it? Koros War Games in Flemington, New Jersey. I'm comfortable saying these places because I do not live anywhere near either of them. They're an hour away, and and like, you know. People already know I'm an hour from Philly. I'm an hour from Philly and an hour from Allentown. That's not a big deal. You have a Tower of Games roughly the same distance away. I've never heard of Tower of Games. My hands are shaking a bit. Fuck. Using that knowledge, you can triangulate my home. A little bit. you know 3 towns that are an hour away. Small lighter brush. Some Cantor blue. Yeah, we sell shit for multiple tabletop games, paints, dice models, whatever works. Nice. You just got stationed here for your new unit, and as a military guy, most of your dudes don't know 40k. So being on your own, it's nice to finally have a game shot near. Yeah, I can absolutely get that. Yeah, if you know how to play, go for it. If not, go ask how they feel. Go ask about their regular group and how they feel about new players, because they might be super cool. There is always a chance that the group can be super cool. Just be aware that some groups aren't. That's really it. Like, most groups are great. Or, like, not most. Plenty of groups are great, and plenty of groups aren't. Some groups in certain circles, like there's a lot of LGBT Warhammer groups. Most of those are like invite-only groups that are just other people who play, and they kind of form on their own and play at their houses. Because tabletop game stores can be really toxic for LGBT people. You found a group who actually brought you into the hobby. Nice. I kind of brought myself into the hobby. Last one. And this will... I wanted to... Actually, I do want to do the Karak Stone and the wash. Shit, I meant to do the wash before I did these. That's fine. That'll be fine. Do Edge highlighting is hard. Very, very close to done. My army will be ready. I'll do a little glamour shot of everyone once they're set. Actually, I want to do basing. Wait, why did I open that again? You bought your first minis the day you graduated basic training at a hobby store off post and had no idea what you were doing. That's fair. Free blade? Huh. I've never heard of free blade. What did get me into 40K? I honestly don't know what got me into 40K. I think my first interaction with it, my older sibling gave me a bunch of free RPG Day rulebooks, and one of them was for Deathwatch. Or free RPG Day game modules. One of them was for Deathwatch. I still want to run that at some point for my group. I'd like to play in it more, but I know that's never happening. Well, I play Astra Militarum, as is obvious. I also play Tau. Here's one of my Fire Warriors. Oop, right, they have magnets on the bottom because the person I bought them from was using them. These are my Tau, by the way. Really proud of how they came out. This guy has a little bit of silver I still need to paint on him. I've played Orcs in Kill Team a few times and they're fun. Actually, the Kill Team I really want to build, because I've been playing it on the tabletop, is Kroot, who are very fun. Just incredibly fun, even though they're not good. They're not actually good. But they're like, people see them, they see the ballistic skill and they see a lot of the weapon stuff and they think, oh, these are basically just guardsmen with a little bit of melee. And they always forget, oh, those Kroot rifles are strength 4? Oh, shit. Oh, you actually have competent melee. Oh no! So it's just very fun in Kill Team playing Kroot and just surprising everyone with, fuck you, I got a knife! Or the Krutox Rider, who everyone sees and is like, oh, that's a big thing. Then they get hit by it and they're like, shit, that's nastier than plasma. So they will frequently try to solve that by charging it. And if you ever played against Kroot, you know charging a Krutox Rider is the worst plan imaginable. Because they get 2 attacks, strength 6. If you spend a command point for unfettered aggression, they get 3 attacks at strength 6. And then if you use another tactic, I can't remember what it's called, you get to fight again at the end of the fight phase. And it has 4 wounds, sorry. I know it has 4 because someone tried to take it down with a D3 weapon, rolled high, got really excited, and then realized it wasn't dying. I love Kroot. They're so fun. They're just Kroot spam army. It was a Kroot spam kill team. So it was 17 models. 1 Krutox Rider, 4 Kroot Hounds, and 11 Kroot Carnivores. At 125 points. They're so much fun. Part of me is legitimately thinking about trying to build a big hammer Kroot army, just because I can, but I think Kroot aren't allowed to in the rules of 9th. They lost I think Narlock's got relegated to Legends recently, I think, which really sucks. I don't have Kroot. I've been playing on Tabletop Sim. They're so fun. I play on Tabletop Sim because like most of the people I play against are uh, across the country. I'm not gonna play a game against someone across the country. You know? Alright, let's just still use the small layer brush. So it's this one, I think. Uh, yes. Missing it here and here. You are missing it nowhere, maybe? I think nowhere. You are missing it here. Here. Okay. I think everyone is finished. Just gotta do washes. Where is my... There's my dry brush. Here's my shade. Medium shade. You can take arcoflagellants. I'm pretty sure. That's way too much. How did I get so much on my brush? Nice clean Scions getting worn down. Their shiny new equipment being battered and used. Also, Code, there's a lot more specialists that you can take as sisters. Crew have, like, very few options. You can take Veteran or Combat on a... You can take Veteran or Combat on a Crew Tux Rider. You can take Zealot or Scout. No, you can take Zealot or Combat. I think Zealot, Veteran, or Combat on a Crew Carnivore. And you can take Scout or Combat on a Hound. Personally, I would really like to put Zealot on a Crew Hound, and you'd think that should be allowed, but it's not for some reason. Okay, 3 left, and then I can base. Kind of surprised with how many malls are still alive in the Philadelphia area / Lehigh Valley. There's, let's see, Oxford Valley, King of Prussia, Willow Grove, Montgomeryville. I think there's another too. There's so many fucking malls. Have a good night, Ryujo. Two left. Unlike, well, I don't think any of them are doing quite as well as malls once did. None of them seem to be doing bad. Would I get a cheesesteak anywhere else? Depends. Is the person I'm getting it from a Philly transplant? Do they have the right rolls? What are the cheese options? And do they actually cut the beef thin enough? Those are the questions you need answered. If it's a chicken cheesesteak, it better not be like the fucking thing they call the chicken Philly in Indiana. Some place that I went to eat while I was visiting Kelly. God, that... I'm still angry about that. I got it because I was like, okay, what does Indiana think a chicken Philly is? Because clearly it was supposed to be mimicking a cheesesteak. Like, you wouldn't call it a Philly if it weren't a young horse or a cheesesteak knockoff. So I got it. Enormous chunks of chicken. That was the first sign something was wrong. Bell peppers. The second sign something was wrong. Rolls that I could bite right through with no effort. The nail in the coffin. If you've ever had a cheesesteak, you know exactly why all of these things were wrong. Not necessarily a bad sandwich, except it was a bad sandwich. Because the chicken was tough on top of all of that. Like, really fucking tough, which it's almost like, right? It's almost like the reason the stuff you use in a cheesesteak is sliced thin because it's cheap and tough, right? Right? Like, gee, it's almost like there's a reason cheesesteaks are made like they are. Needless to say, I was furious and personally insulted that they would dare call such an atrocity a Philly. Your old lieutenant was from Pennsylvania and said the same thing. Yeah. No, because there's a lot of really important things about a cheesesteak. Cheesesteaks are made with really thinly sliced beef. It's usually a cheap cut. It's usually like a cheap cut of beef that's not really great. So you shave it as thin as you can get it so that it's not awful and unpleasant. You shave it as thin as you can get it. Sorry. You've only had one from the chain restaurant Charlie's? Never heard of Charlie's. I wouldn't trust any chain to get a cheesesteak right. I've heard there's like a place in Texas. Oh, also, if they call it if you order a cheesesteak, be really careful. Don't order a cheesesteak hoagie. You might want unless you want a cheesesteak hoagie. Cheesesteak hoagie. The difference between a cheesesteak hoagie and a cheesesteak is a cheesesteak is just the cheese, beef, and then whittle it out, which is onions. Whether it has onions. Sometimes you may see one listed as having peppers. If it is a proper cheesesteak, this does not mean bell peppers. This means long hots. Long hots are actually pretty good on a cheesesteak. Charlie's is usually always on a military base, but you weren't sure if they were based in PA since the official name is Charlie's Philly Cheesesteaks. I've never seen them. That does not mean they aren't from Philly. I have never seen them here. But yeah, there's 3 acceptable cheeses. Provolone, American, and Whiz. I do not think Whiz is actually acceptable. But it's common and popular enough that I will acquiesce that it is a real Philly cheesesteak if it has Whiz. How often do I live stream? Depends. Sometimes a lot. Other times, not at all. I usually stream model building and painting. Sometimes I stream games. I've been wanting to play more. My girlfriend Kelly and I have been playing through Professor Layton. Well, I'll just say we've been streaming through Professor Layton, and right now we're on the Diabolical Box. Oh, just hit the wacky bell, so they'll be tuning in if I do. Nice. I have not. I don't usually stream playing 40K, but I have thought about doing some more game streams. I've got a couple in the backlog. I have one against my friend Magic Man, where he played Necrons, and a Avenger Strike Fighter kicked the shit out of a Necron in Melee, which was very funny. I think you'll also find the first time I played Kill Team on Tabletop Simulator. Just painting and building will also help a lot. That's fair. Usually paint most of the pieces disassembled so you don't mess up. A lot of people do that, or do subassembly, which in some cases I feel like I should do. But also, I like building the tiny men's first. Priming them is definitely easier beforehand. The tiny man's is escaping. Nearly done. Okay. They are done. I just need to wait for their bases to dry. And while I do that, I'm actually gonna take these and get around their edges a bit. Try and get some of the okay. Actually, I'm gonna grab some Abaddon Black, and I'm just gonna get around the edges of their bases. Is the refund 2 command points from heavy auxiliary still a rule? I don't know. What primer would you recommend for someone that can't airbrush? Well, I can't airbrush either. Citadel primer is fine. It's also $20 for a regular-sized spray can, and fuck that. What I use is Rust-Oleum Camo Black. So the original models that I painted, I did use Citadel primer with. Citadel primer is actually just a regular spray paint. That's all. There is nothing special about it. I use Rust-Oleum Camo Black, and the only advice I have for you is be really careful when you are priming, because it is really easy to get too much on your models. What's my perspective on new players? Well, I'm relatively new myself, and I'm happy to play learning games with people. I've only played a few games of Big Hammer. My only real opinions on new players is that I don't think new players should play Imperial Knights. For several reasons. Chiefly being it's way too easy to accidentally just make a really strong list, and if you're and in doing so make everybody who you would normally play against really angry at you. It's so you pick knights, and if you pick knights, you're not really super familiar with the rules. You play against people who aren't really who don't really have armies that are built to deal with knights. They just that's just um and it's not something that a lot of new players do out of malice. It's something that a lot of new players do because they see knights and they go, cool, big stompy robot. This makes sense to me. This looks fun. I can do this. So they pick them up and they are a lot of work to paint. And then there are two scenarios that happen. They go against a casual list. They go against someone's casual list because this person wants to be nice. And the game is completely one-sided in the new player's favor. And there's not really anything the other person can do. The alternative that can happen is the person they're teaching is using a tournament list. The person who's teaching them uses a tournament list that can deal with knights, and as a result, completely wipes them in 2 turns. Because tournament lists deal with a lot of vehicles, so having something that kills a knight in 2 turns is good. Especially since Imperial soup lists with knights are very popular. Like Knights and Guard, just a shit ton of Astra Militarum infantry that you can just drop down on a point while you use a massive fuck-off war machine to protect them. Yeah, that works great. Guard can be cheap bodies like that. And Knights do really well as fire support. What about Tau for new players? Tau are in the exact opposite direction. Tau are in a really bad spot right now. So, if you're playing with a friendly group, fucking go for it. Tau are fun. They're a shooty gunline army. They lack capability in melee, but so long as the people you're playing against are playing fun, fluffy lists, they're a ton of fun. They also have a special rule. They're the only army in 40k 9th edition who don't need to use a tactic to fire Overwatch on a charging enemy, which is it's really fun. I love Tau, but Tau were an early 8th edition codex, and they are a very shooty heavy army. In an addition, they're a very shooty heavy army with no strong melee and no psychers at all. And that means they play 1 out of 3 combat phases. So, I love Tau. If Tau are what you think is cool, get them. The general, if what you're looking at is cool, if you are looking at models, and if you just go into a game store and you're just looking at models and you pick one and you go, this one looks really cool, this is what I want to build and play that. That's it. Like, even if that is Imperial Knights, go for it. Your worst case scenario with Imperial Knights is you play another army for a little while, and then you just soup them into a Militarum list, or a Marines list, or a Mechanicus list, and it works just fine. Hey, Mouse. Oh, God. I have not been painting for 24 hours. I painted some last night, and I finished painting tonight. I'm going to give their bases a tiny bit to dry. Oh, their bases are probably dry by now. I'm going to start cleaning off some stuff for a glamour shot for everyone. One squad of strike team, one squad of breachers, an ethereal, 3 crisis battle suits, and 8 drones. Okay, yeah, that's fine for a 500-point match. I would also recommend getting a commander. You can only use one commander in a Tau army at all, so get a commander. Have another battle suit. You can choose to run it with your the ethereal alone, or it alone, depending on points value. That's my big recommendation. The commander also looks badass. Let me grab mine. Yeah, here's my commander. Like, this looks super fucking cool. This is one of my favorite models. He looks vicious. He is built as a cold star. I didn't build him. I bought my Tau from a friend. I bought the built Tau I have. I've also got 2 packs of battle suits, or packs of stealth suits, and another pack of Pathfinders. Shadow Sun, cool. Shadow Sun is good. Farsight, also good. There's, like, very few bad models in Tau. The biggest reason any Tau unit is bad is just Tau are in a bad spot at the moment. Because they play one combat phase out of 3. And when you really need to kill a lot of big threats, that's a problem. You know? Oh. Actually, let me see about slipping my... heavy bolters back in here. They're not painted. I'm not really concerned about painting them either, because they are inside of this thing, and therefore rarely ever going to be seen. Oh, wait. Let me just get... looks like some Xandri dust got ripped on this. So let me scrape this off with my fingernail. Wrong part of the paintbrush. Just hide that. Yeah, I love the Valkyrie. I play Tempestus Regiment, and I run them... technically, I don't run them as Tempestus. I run them as the Astra Militarum's Harakani drop troops, who are my favorite, regiment, 40k, honestly. Yeah, I have these guys primed, but I don't have them totally finished. I can't really. Ooh, almost knocked my forbidden jungle juice on the ground. Might need to pop this back off. There we go. It's not easy, but it's doable. Isn't AdMech really good souping with knights currently? Oh, probably. I would believe it. Just gotta get everyone ready for the glamour shot. Mouse, quiet for a minute. Well, have a good one, Haas. Cool. Actually, swap these two. Cool. Okay. I'm going to refocus it once I'm finished repositioning them for this. I think I'm actually going to keep the lines going in the back. And that's probably, even though that's actually a terrible idea, he has the lowest range of all of these people. All right. Here we go. Ready to kick ass. I'm really excited. I should have bought a carrying case to take them where they need to go, but oh well. I'll do that later. Another time. But I am done for the night. I have a couple more that actually do need to be painted, but I don't have the energy for that tonight. It is almost 2 in the morning. I have to be there at around 12:30, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to aim to be there around noon. I'll probably get there around 12:30. I might just go back and touch up the Valkyrie with some orange on the missiles, but I might do that another night. It's fine for running in a game. Okay. I just need to let all of their bases dry. Have a good night, everybody. I'll see you all later.